Hey, George, how are you?
Good. How's it going, Walter?
Good. No complaints, thank God.
And if you complain, nobody listens.
Well, I know that you would listen.
I will be more than happy to listen.
You see?
Ah,
But thank God we don't have any complaints,
that's
Just look at
always,
what's going on.
it's
on
always
the-
good when you look at the world and the crazy things that are going
Yeah.
on, right?
Right. That's what it is.
Wow.
Buenas
Mario.
noches, don Mario.
¿Qué tal?
Bien. Tristemente no puedo estar con ustedes todas las noches, pero hago lo posible.
Sí, porque tiene actividades extracurriculares.
Así es.
Hello, boys.
Good evening.
How you doing, Jorge?
Muy bien, gracias.
Where you been?
Oh, I'm covering at the VA and I have all these other things going on, so it makes it tough that I can't always be at these hours. So,
You're a worker, I forget.
well, I don't know that I call myself a worker, but I'm still engaged is what I would call it.
Still holding down the fort over there.
Yep.
Oh.
What's doing, Mario?
Hello.
What's doing?
Okay.
Okay.
How are you, Kenny?
Good, Walter. ¿Qué pasa? What's going on, buddy?
A lot of funerals today. Chaim Eisenberg also lost his father.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry to
yeah?
hear that.
Yeah.
When? Today?
Yeah. Last
Oh.
night, I guess, or this morning, yeah.
What funerals did you go to?
No, so I went to Chaim Eisenberg's, but he had what's his name? Huh?
Well, Shmuel Croft is tomorrow.
No, Kraft is not tomorrow. Is it today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
When is Kraft's
He's 99 years old.
when is
Wow.
It was today. It was 12 o'clock today.
How was it today?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
There were two messages from Young Israel today, and the other one said tomorrow.
And what's tomorrow? What is on tomorrow?
The funeral, Levaya and funeral for Rabbi Kraft's father.
Yeah.
Mother is tomorrow?
Which one?
I didn't realize. I thought it was today. For Kraft.
Well, there were two emails, but the second one said tomorrow. So I don't know.
First,
No.
okay. Is it a cedar?
Hmm?
Where's the rabbi?
You want to know where it is? I can check.
He's there. Ernie just logged on.
Right.
Hi, Ernie.
Hi, guys. Okay,
Good evening.
good evening. Hi, George.
I
Okay, Gimel Amud Beis, we're in Bava Metziah, and we're dealing with this Kavachomer of Rav Chia about a person's confession about a debt versus two eidim coming, and which is stronger. And we've been attempting to understand that Kavachomer. So, Elamalafiv Shekain Eno Ba'akosha Vazama. Now we know when witnesses come, they can be challenged. Two witnesses come and say they saw that it was white, and two eidim come and say no, it was black. So that's called akosha. It's contradictory testimony. So we reject both. Then we have a specific kind of refutation called hazama. Hazama means two eidim come and say, we saw Ruvain kill Shimon Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then two other eidim come and say, what do you mean? On Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they were at Disneyland with me. We saw them in Disneyland. That's called hazama.
No, someone, no, right?
Eidim Zomim. It's Eidim Zomim. And we do to the Eidim Zomim what they tried to accuse the criminal with. But in both of those cases, Hakosh and Hazama, we've refuted the testimony. Now, if somebody admits and says, yeah, I owe Ruvain $500, such testimony cannot be refuted. Not like Eidim, there's no Eidim that can come and so the Gemara wants to say, Malapiv, Shekain Eno Ba'akosha Vazama. Toimer be'edim so yeshtan ba'akosha vazama. So in that way, we can say that oral admission is even stronger than edus. So remember, a kavachomer only works if you show this is lenient, this is more stringent. So it's got to be like, but if we've now proven, perhaps, that oral admission is even stronger than edus. Ella. So we have to go back and try to explain the Kavachomer Rav Chia differently. Asya me'ed echad. Uma eid echad she'en mechayva mamon. One witness goes into court and says that Reuven owes Shimon $1,000. That's worthless. Shimon doesn't have to pay anything. But mechayva shvua, at a minimum, Shimon has to take a shvua to say, I did not borrow the money. Against the edus of one, so one aid has the power to make the person take a shvua.
That's a shvua d'Rabbanan, though, no?
Yeah, that's not eight. The
only
shvua
shavuos in the Torah are modeh b'miktsas,
moide b'miktsas,
shomrim.
Shavuos HaShomrim. We'll see. There's a machlokas about that, whether that's a takana or not. But in Chanami, this is. We mentioned it before. We discussed the issue of shvua d'Rabbanan versus shvua d'Oraisa, but we do know that one aid can require a shvua. So, Eidim shemachayven mamon. Now, two Eidim come into court and say that Reuven lent Shimon $1,000. There, Shimon would have to pay the $1,000, and therefore, Eino din shemachayven also shvua. So certainly, the testimony of witnesses should make a shvua as well. That's what Rav Chia said. Remember, manali biyadcha, and he admits. Versus Eidim coming. We wanted to say that Eidim also can require a shvua. So Rav Chia is learning it through this Kavachomer. However, the Gemara says no. Mala Eid Echad Shekain al mashu me'idu nishba. The litigant takes a shvua exactly opposite what the aid talked about. Not on anything else. It's only that specific thing. With Adim, he denied owing money. And he's taking a shvuah, and so it's not necessarily what the Adim say. So we reject the Kavachomer. Al-Amr of Papa, that Rav Chiz Kavachomer is Asi mi Gilgul Shvuah de Eidecha. If one aid shows up and gives some testimony in court, we've said tonight that it requires the other party, if he's denying it, to take a shvuah. Now, when he takes that shvuah, you're allowed to make him take other oaths on other issues. That's called the concept of Gilgul Shvuah. Gilgul means like a wheel, you can roll other shvuos to him. So Mala Gilgul Shvuah Deidechot. Shekain Shvuah Gorer Shvuah. Once a person is required to take a shvuah, you can make him take other shvuos, even if it's not necessarily related to what that aid said. It is noveya from the dinim of shvuah. Toimer be'edim de mamon komachai. Toimer be'edim de mamon komachayvi. So certainly edim that don't just require the litigant to take a shvuah, but actually to pay money, certainly, but we don't say the same thing regarding mamon dragging other mamon. So, but piv yochiach, but a person's admission can prove, because once you're moed b'miktas, you have to take a shvuah on the rest. But then mala piv shekin eno b'chosha. But piv is in some way also, we said, stronger because you can't get rid of it through conflicting testimony. But eid echad yochiach sheyesh lo b'achacha. One aid can be overcome with two aidim and mechayve shvuah. But mala eid echad, but we said there's a limitation of eid echad shekain ama shemeidu nishba. He only takes a shvuah on the specifics of what the guy said. Toimer be'edim shama shekafru nishba. So we're back piv yochiach, because the mouth he's taking a shvuah on what he denied. So chazra din lo rizeh k'rizeh v'lo rizeh k'rizeh atzad hashavish, when you have to go to a common denominator. Sha'al yidei taina ukfira hein boy. Why are these oaths being sworn? Someone's claiming something from somebody, or somebody's denying something. V'nishba. So afani avi edim shayidei tainu kfira hem boim v'nishba. So edim come for the same purpose, and that's right now what the Gemara is holding is the kavachomer of Rav Chia. However, we rejected malat tzad shavish ben. That means even with someone's mouth, or gilgul shvuah, or eid echad, shekei lahulz lekafran. In all these cases, this guy is not deemed a koifer, a shakran, a liar, where we wouldn't believe his shvuah. We would accept his shvuah. Tomer be'edim sheken also kafran, meaning the guy denies that any loan ever occurred. And two Eidim show up and say, no, we saw Reuven give you $50. So there, we could say he's not believed that in a Shavua in the future. So the Gemara says, is that true? Be'edim mihulza kafram? Does Eidus always cause the party to be considered a liar? Vam Ravidi Baravinam Rav Chizda. A koifer b'malve. Eidim came and said, we saw Reuven loan Shimon $1,000. And Shimon denies. No, I never borrowed. Even though there's Eidim against him, Rav Idi says, kosher le'edus. In the future, we can accept his edus. We don't say he's posel le'edus. Why? The borrower, Shimon, is planning to return the money. He's trying to delay to gather some funds so he can pay back the debt. However, bepikodon posel le'edus. Let's say Reuven went to China. And before he went to China, he gave an object to Shimon to watch. And then he comes back and he says, Shimon, give me the object. And Shimon says, you never gave me anything. And now Eidim appear that say, we saw Reuven give Shimon the item. Now, posel le'edus. Here, there's no svara as to why the guy would say, I don't have it. By money, we say a person will deny making the loan. He intends to pay it back, but he's trying to delay to get more time to gather money. But by a pikodon, you're not allowed to use a pikodon, and you're a gazlan, and therefore gazlan is posel le'edus. So, based on this, the Kal Vachomer of Rav Chia has been resuscitated because it looks like Eidim is stronger than admission. Yet, Ela Prichochi. I can ask another kasha on the Kal Vachomer. Malat Sarashavish Ben Shekain Einan B'Toras Hazama. There is no Eidim Zomimim by his admission, nor by an Eid Echad. There's no Eid Zomim by that. Toimer be'Eidim sheyeshna b'Toras Hazama. But with two Eidim, there is Hazama. So haloi kasha. Reb Chia Toras Hazama loy parach. Reb Chia doesn't accept that type of chiluk. And therefore, we have an acceptable Kal Vachomer based on the Gemara, according to Rabbi Chia. Now, Ela de Karma V'Tanatuna, we tried to say that our Mishnah was like Rav Chia regarding the swear, Shnayim Oichsim Betalis, we have them swear and they get 50%. The Gemara says, "Midami." And then Rav Chia brought the case where the guy says, "I loaned you $100." He says, "No, you only gave me 50." Right? So, midami. Lemilva is lesadi. Lelova less lesadi. The lomasik levlomidi. The lender had aid. The Lova did not have Eidim to say that he's not chayv to pay anything. The Avile Sadi Lelova, the Lomasik Levlomidi, if the borrower had witnesses to say that he never borrowed any money, Lobai Rav Chia Shtubi, then Rav Chia wouldn't have required him to take a shvuah as Eidim. But Hacha, by holding on to two people holding on to a garment, Ki hechi de anan sadi bahai, anan sadi bahai. There's equal witnesses. We are witnesses that this guy owns 50%. We are witnesses that this guy owns 50%. So they're not the same case. How can you compare them? And even so, when we're anan sadi, we make them take a shvua before they take it. Ella, kiitmar v'tanatuna, when we brought this proof from our Mishnah, a'idich to Rav Chia itmar. It's on another halacha of Rav Chia. Sha'amar Rav Chia, manali biyadcha. Reuven says to Shimon, you owe me $1,000. You owe me $100. V'aloi oimer ein li chab yad el chamishim zuz. Shimon says, you gave me 50, not 100. V'hilich. And he gives it to him right then and there. Chayiv, he has to take a shvua on the remaining 50. My timer, hilich nami, kemoide b'michtas latayna dami. Having him give, say, here, take it, is like a moide b'michtas. And we don't say, since he gave it already, that on what he admitted, he's not considered a moide b'michtas, and he doesn't need a shavua. But he has to take a shua. And v'tanatuna, that's why our Mishnah is similar. Shnayim oichsin b'talis. We find two people holding on to the same garment. V'ha'ach kivin the toughest, since they're both holding on to it, anan sadi demai to toughest hilechu. It's considered like it's given it to him. Yet yishava. Yet he still has to take a shvua. So even if you say hilech, you're chayav a shvua. And Rav Sheshes Amar, if a person says hilech, here, take this 50, then I water, he doesn't have to take a shvua on the rest. So Rav Sheshes is arguing with Rav Chia. Rav Chia says even if you say hilech, there's a shvua. But Rav Sheshes says, you're potter on the shvua at my time. Kivin sha'amar lehilich. He says, I'm giving it to you now. Hani zuzit kamode b'kavayu. This 50 that I'm admitting to, kiman denaklu malvadami. And it's as if be'incha chamishim alomoidi. I'm not admitting to the other 50. Hilkach lekoy dabe miktas atayna. Now, according to Rav Sheshes, kasha mashnisim, because it looks like our Mishnah is a case of hilech, and yet they do take a shvua, not like Rav Sheshes said. Arlach Rav Sheshes, masnisin takonas chachamimi, the shvua that the parties in our Mishnah of Shnaim Oitzin B'talis, that they have to take a shvua to take their half, is a takonis chachamim. And because otherwise, these cases of hilach, you'd be potter from a shvua. It's just the chachamim made you take a shvua. What does Rav Chia say? Idich. He also says takonis chachamim. I agree that's a takonis chachamim. Miu. If you're going to tell me that in a case where I told the guy, here, take your $50, and midoraisa, I'd have to so mitakni rabon and shvua ke'ein doraisa. In the Shnaim Oichzin Betalis, when the Rabbanim made a shvua, they did it in the same manner as they do midoraisa. That only makes sense if you say midoraisa hilech chayiv. Ela iyamet midoraisa hilech potter. Mitakni rabbanon shvua the less the kavotza midoraisa. Why would the chachamim establish a shvua that doesn't exist by doraisa cases? So it must be the chachamim were misaking that shvua. And he agrees as well. Meisvei. You have a star that says that Shimon borrowed money from Reuven. But it's interesting. It doesn't say how much. It says sloim. It doesn't say 5 sloim or 10 sloim. Now, the word sloim is plural.
More
So
than two.
the minimum would be 2, okay? Or dinorim, right? And the Malva and Lova are arguing. Malva Omer Chamesh. I lent him 5. The Lova Omer Sholosh. He only lent me 3. Rav Shimon Elazar Omer. Hoyel v'hoyde miktas atayna. So he admitted to part of the claim. Yishava, he should zamoyde b'miktas, and he should take a shvua on the other 2. Rabbi Kiva Omer, no. He's only eino el kameshi v'aveda upotter.
Is that because there's no document?
No, there was a document, Kenny, but it said sloim or it said dinorim. It didn't specify how much.
And therefore, that's the reason it's Kameshi Vaveda, because of
let me
that
give you-
discrepancy, that
Let me give you the reason.
omission?
Let me give you the reason. The lashon of the star, the only amount that you could prove really is 2. Because, as I said, the word slaim is clearly plural. So the star proves at least 2. Anything more than that, you'd have to detail it. If he's admitting to 3, it's like returning a lost object. He didn't have to admit to the 3. All he had to do is admit to the 2. He's giving him more than what the document proves. So therefore, it says, Rabbi Kiva, you're potter from the Shvuah. You're like a Meshiv Aveda. That's how Rashi explains. Okay. Why did we bring this? Ktani Mias comes out from all of this. Rav Shimon ben Elazar Omer, Hoyel v'hoyde b'miktas atayna yishav. Rav Shimon said, since the guy admitted to 3, it's like a regular moed b'miktas. He takes a shvuah. Taima she'omar sholosh. If he only said ha b'shtayim potter, maybe he would be potter from taking a shvuah. And high star, the Kamodibay, he's admitting that he wrote the star or that he signed on the star, is a case of hilechu. He's agreeing to pay whatever's there. Comes out shmami no hilich potter from shvuah, not chayiv mishvuah. That's the kasha we've tried to develop here. More says lo oilam emelacha b'shtayim, also he would be chayiv according to Rav Shimon Elazar. Hai diktani sholosh. It's not bedin hilech. El lafukim and Rabbi Kiva. He wants to show how far he goes against Rabbi Kiva. Shamar Meshiv Aveda Havi Upotter. Kamash Malon that Rabbi Shimon Elazar doesn't hold that even 3, you're a moed b'miktas, you're not a Meshiv Aveda. So moed b'miktas atayna Havi v'chayiv is that's how Rabbi Shimon Elazar is going to come out. Iachi Rabbi Shimon Elazar Omer. Hoyel v'hoyde b'miktas atayna yishav. That's not correct. It should have said, Af ze yishava meboile. This is also a case we should take an oath. If bishtayim, he would be chayiv, and he had to say the sholosh as a kamash malan. So la'olam, if he says shtayim, he'd be potter. And we say hilich, if he's prepared to pay right away, it's chayiv, a shvuah, like we've said before. Shiny hacha, here he's not chayiv a shvuah. The komasai story, he has the star to help him. That's why it's part of mishvuah, if he admits to 2. Or inami, he's parter from the shvuah if he admits to 2, Mishum da'avale star shibud karkos. Oh, you have a star. Well, a star loan is always backed up with land, so that if the guy doesn't pay back the debt, the lender can go and get a piece of land. And there's a rule: ein nishboin al kfir shibud karkos. You don't take shvuas on money or metatul that are somehow connected to karka. Now, Iked Moisif Missefa. Other people ask a kasha from this price. Rabbi Kiva Oimer, Eino El Kameshav Avedel Potter. That if he admits to 3, he's a Meshav Aveda and he's not a Moed B'Miktzas, and he doesn't have to take a shvua. Taima, the Amar Sholosh. Ha Shtayim Chayiv. So Rabbi Kiva would admit by Shtayim, he would be a Moed B'Miktzas. But I thought you just said Va'ashtar given the Kamoida Bay. He's agreeing that he wrote the star is Kehilich. I mean, it's like somebody prepared to give the money right away. Ushma Mina Hilechayev. Comes out from here that a case of Hilich you'd be Chayev. The Gemara says lo. Lo Ilamem L'Choshtayim Nami Potter. Rabbi Kiva would hold that even if he admitted to Shtayim, he'd be Potter. Haidi Tani Shalosh. Lafuki Rav Shimon Elazar Damar Moed B'Miktzas Avi V'Chayev Kamash Balon that it's only a Meshav Aveda Upotter and Ochanami Mistavra. It makes sense. The Isal Gedaitech that somebody who admits to 2 B'Shtayim Chayev. So B'Sholosh Echi Potter Le Rabbi Kiva. How did Rabbi Kiva potter the guy if he admitted to 3? Because Hi Arumi Kama Arim. Maybe the borrower is doing some trickery. Sava. Iyamina Shtayim. If I say 2, Ba'ina Ishtabui, I'm going to have to take a shvu on the rest. So Ema Shalosh. So I'm going to say 3. Davi Kamesha Baveda Vi Potter. So Elishma Mina B'Shtayim Nami Potter. So really, whatever he says, even Shtayim would be Potter. Ela Kasha Rab Chia. Because remember, Rab Chia said Hilich is Chayiv. If he's Moed B'Shtayim, it's like Hilich. And yet, it's Chayiv. Shiny Hossam, become a silent Torah. In this case, you have a star. It's not because of Hilich. Hilich doesn't play a role. Or Inami Mishum Da'avale Shtar Shibud Karkos and Einishbon Al Kfir Shibud Karkos. Like we said, since land is involved, we don't take shvuas on land, it's a different case. Masif Marzutra, Braid Rav Nachman. Tano Kalim V'Karkos. Reuven claims that Shimon owes him vessels and land. And Shimon admits, Hoide Kalim, the Kofar Bekarkos. He says, yeah, I owe you some vessels, but no land. He denies the land. Or Hoide Bekarkos, the Kofar Bekalim. He admits to the land, but not to the Kalim. Potter, there's no shvu on the remainder. Hoide al mixes karkos potter. Reuven says, this 5 acres of land belong to me. And Shimon admits to 2.5 acres. Potter, it's not like money. It's not like a loan of 100. I loaned you 100 and the guy admits to 50 where you have to take a shvua. There's no shvua by Moed B'Miktzas by karka. Now, if Reuven said, I gave you 100 barrels, and Shimon admits to 50, Miktzas Kelim Chayiv. That's just like money. It's Moed B'Miktzas Atayna, and you'd have to take a shvua on the rest. Taima B'Kelim B'Karkos. When you have a combination of metaltalin and karka, you don't take a shvua. the karka lav bashvua. We don't have any shvuas with these claims of karka. Ha-kalim v'kalim, but if you have kalim and other kalim, dumya the kalim v'karkos, shechayim. Now, what would be like that? Heichi dami. Lav the Amr Lehilech, when he said, here, take it. Ushmami na hilechayim. So again, the Gemara says, "Lo elmecha bekelim nami potter." If you're dealing with kalim only, and he admits only part of it, still potter. Hadik tani kalim v'karkos. It's a different chidush. Kamash malon that hoide b'mikzas kalim. If you are forced to take a shvua because you admitted to some of the kalim, now you're chayiv to take a shvua on the karkos as well. Even though normally you don't take shvuas on karka. So the Gemara asks, "My kamashma, what's the chiddush here? Shezoikekin, that even though you don't take a direct shvua regarding denial of land, if you have your friend have to take a shvua for whatever reason, you can now roll a shvua regarding land to him through this process of zoikekin." But the Gemara says, it's not a davar chiddush, we know this. Tanina, in Masechta Kiddushin. Zoikekin nechasim she'en la nachrayis, es ha-nechasim she'esh nachrayis. Nechasim that are metaltalin, that means there's no guarantee. Stand up for shvua, assets that have achrayis, which is land, lishava land. So we know this halacha. So why did this price have to be repeated? So the Gemara answers, Hacha, here where we're dealing with kalim and karkos, is ikr, is the real source for this concept of zoikekin, that having to take a shvua metaltalin can force you to take a shvua on karka. Hasam, over there in Kiddushin, Agav Grora Naspa. There, we talked about different asset classes. So we mentioned Zoikekin, but the Iker Limud is here.
Very nice.
By the way, I don't know if you guys, Bava Metziah is probably the most